Title: The Wrath of King NWAFOR. King NWAFOR of the great kingdom of Udo was known for his wisdom, courage, and fairness. His people loved him, and the land prospered under his reign. However, despite his stature, there was a burden that weighed heavily on his heart, a burden that his kinsmen could neither see nor understand. King NWAFOR had long desired a peaceful reign, free from conflict and discord, but the rumors of discontent within his own household began to grow. His younger brother, Prince Okoro, a man of fiery spirit and ambition, had been secretly plotting to take the throne for himself. Whispers spread through the corridors of the palace, and NWAFOR, deeply troubled, sought counsel from his trusted advisors. One evening, after a particularly heated argument with his brother, NWAFOR stood on the balcony of his palace, staring at the moonlit horizon. His chest tightened with anger as thoughts of betrayal consumed him. Days passed, but the tension in the palace grew unbearable. The king's once peaceful and harmonious court had become a place of whispered insults and veiled threats. The kinsmen, whom NWAFOR had once considered his closest allies, were now divided. Some sided with Prince Okoro, while others remained loyal to the throne. One fateful morning, a messenger arrived at the palace with alarming news. Prince Okoro had gathered a group of disgruntled nobles and soldiers, and they had marched to the northern border of the kingdom, raising banners in defiance of NWAFOR's rule. The news struck NWAFOR like a thunderbolt. His own flesh and blood was waging war against him. Filled with rage, NWAFOR called his kinsmen to a council meeting. As they gathered in the royal chamber, the tension was palpable. The king's eyes burned with fury, and his voice, usually calm and measured, trembled with anger as he addressed the assembly. "How dare you, my own blood, conspire against me?" NWAFOR's voice boomed, his eyes fixed on Prince Okoro, who stood defiantly before him. "You have betrayed me, and you will answer for your actions." Prince Okoro, though angry, stood firm. "I have done no wrong, my brother. You have become a king consumed by your own pride. You've forgotten the people, forgotten the land that we swore to protect. I only wish to restore what is rightfully ours." The king's kinsmen shifted uneasily. Some, who had once admired Okoro's spirit, now questioned his actions. Others were steadfast in their loyalty to NWAFOR, believing that the king's anger was justified. Among them was Elder Uzoma, the king's most trusted advisor. He stood up slowly, his voice calm but firm. "Your Majesty, the time for anger has passed. This kingdom has always been ruled by wisdom, not wrath. If we are to restore peace, we must seek understanding, not bloodshed." But the king's fury had taken root too deeply. "Enough of your words, Elder," NWAFOR shouted, his face red with fury. "You speak of peace, but my brother has brought war upon us. He seeks to destroy all that we have built." The kingdom was thrown into turmoil. King NWAFOR's anger knew no bounds as he prepared to march against his own brother. The kinsmen, torn between loyalty and blood, were faced with a choice: stand with the king or join Prince Okoro's rebellion. The air was thick with fear and uncertainty. NWAFOR's army, though strong, was divided in heart. Some of his most trusted warriors, who had once fought by his side in countless battles, now hesitated, unsure of which side to take. The night before the battle, the king stood alone in his chambers, contemplating his choices. His heart ached as he realized that his fury had led him down a path from which there might be no return. He loved his kingdom, but had his anger already doomed it? At dawn, the battle began. The battle was fierce, but in the end, it was clear that neither side had the upper hand. The soldiers of Udo fought valiantly, but the kingdom's once unified forces were now splintered. As the dust settled and the wounded were carried from the battlefield, King NWAFOR and Prince Okoro stood face to face. The king's anger had diminished, replaced by a sense of sorrow. "Look at what we have done, brother," NWAFOR said softly. "We have torn our kingdom apart. Is this the legacy we wish to leave?" Okoro, his pride broken, lowered his head. "I was wrong, NWAFOR. I let my anger cloud my judgment. I see now that we have both failed this land." The king extended his hand to his brother. "Let us rebuild together. Let us put aside our differences and restore what has been lost." And so, after much hardship and pain, King NWAFOR and Prince Okoro reconciled. Their kinsmen, witnessing the king's humility and forgiveness, slowly returned to their sides, though the scars of their division remained. The kingdom of Udo slowly healed, and its people flourished once more under the watchful eyes of two brothers who had learned the true cost of wrath.